Happy Friday and Shabbat Shalom to all of you guys out there. Doing my daily check-in once again. Had a really great conversation with one of the spiritual guides in this world. We had a really interesting convo because every Friday before Shabbat starts, we talk about just life and the lessons. And ironically, he hops on because he's in yeshiva. He hops on and he usually teaches me. But today, I was teaching him. We were speaking about how the whole New Year's thing is just really like weird, like ploy, because really you should be rejuvenating yourself every day and refreshing yourself every day, and that would be distilled in a lot of our conversation was just centered around folks should do in terms of guiding themselves in the right direction. And a lot of the times you don't need to know where you're going, but as long as you're doing work that means, like, as long as you're doing and being in the things that really matter to you, that you value, that's good enough, right? And we're speaking about this with him, and I was suggesting you want to be going towards the 50%, especially somebody I was saying you want to be going in the direction, at least in the 50% right direction, not the 50% wrong direction. And then from there, you narrow in. And as someone who's young, you have all this time to explore, and that's the time to really just ramp up what you're doing and trial and erroring. For him, he's got like really strong teaching and guiding light to him, and he's going to be in the teacher giving area. And I was explaining to him, and he should first understand what they're truly gifted at, and that's a journey to understand and figure out. And then part of that is figuring out, okay, God has given you these gifts and has given you this potential, and now you're in the middle between given these gifts and the world wanting what you have to provide. Now, anybody at any age can always be in this discovery process, but as someone who's young, you want to discover as soon as possible by trial and error a whole bunch of different things that are in your vicinity, right? If you are a giver, if you are an executor, if you there's so many different flavors to superpowers, there's so many different options. But part is, I always tell people, like, the world is looking to receive your gifts in a specific way. And you won't know how to give to the world unless you trial and error different things and giving in different ways. Like I was telling him, like, go on social, do this, do that, right? Start with what he actually cares about doing. So, and I was telling him also, something that you could, and I recommend everybody do this, is, especially with the tools of AI of today, right? You can compensate for what you lack in with AI. So if you're not very business focused, use AI. If you're not very relationship focused, use AI. If you know how to do it the right way. And it gives me this idea of maybe creating like diagrams on how to use AI in different ways. Let me know in the comments down below if that's something you'd be interested in. But there's so many different ways to leverage AI to compensate for what you're not great at. And I don't think anybody should do what they're not good at. They should focus on, as a human being, you should be focusing on as much as possible, like that laser precision 1% of what makes you incredible, just doing those things. That's kind of like a lot of our conversation was focused on. It just made me really optimistic about the potential that 2026 has for so many people. And I think as long as you believe in yourself and you believe that you have something amazing to give, a lot of the journey will be taken care of for you. As long as you do the tough work and you focus on your potential and what that potential is, what it could look like, the foundations of that potential, then you will go a really long way. And generally, regardless, you're going to have that experiences build you up in the direction that you would want to go in anyways. So comment down below, though, if you don't know what your superpower is. Do you know what your 1% superpower is, like your super unique gifts are? And if not, then through Prism, I can guide you in understanding and closing the gap, right? I see it kind of like a gap potential. Let's just say you think you know what your capabilities are. Okay, let's close the gap. Maybe you should be somewhere between, we want to get you to close to 99 or 100% as much as possible, right? Personally, I think I'm further down the road of discovery. I know my lanes. I know what I'm great at. I know what I'm not great at. Try and pinpoint like percentile basis, like out of 100, like am I in my exploration of my gifts, of like what makes me amazing, and see, and then that starts your journey. And I think you can definitely, starting out this year for you can do that deep work. Maybe it's with purpose, maybe it's in a lot of different areas of life that you want to do that exploration. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'm happy to help and support. DM me if you're interested, and yeah, it has been my day today. So until next time.